Presenting to you in the men's single for the quarterfinal showdown, a round of applause for Lin Gaoyuan.
And his opponent also hails from China. Let's give it up for Marlon!
So this is it. Marlon, the one we've been following since 2007 in his debut at the World Championships, hasn't lost a match since 2013 at the World Championships. He took 2015, 2017, and 2019, 3 consecutive World Championships, and in his head-to-head, he is 5-0 against Lin Gaoyuan. Lin Gaoyuan, maybe the fastest player on the Chinese team. He's a featherweight and he is smooth, but he's got a tough one coming up. Our umpire for the match, Akram Benatia, gold badge umpire. Always a very clear and incredibly professional toss there. Ma Long on the bottom of his racket, upside down at the moment, but I'm sure we'll have a chance to see him right side up. When the scoreboard comes out, we shall see. It's a best of 7 match.
Come for the toss.
Which means first player to win 4 games wins the match. Games played to 11 points must win by 2. The call was asking them to come together for the toss. Ma Long sort of does what he wants at times. It's understandable. I think at this stage of his career, he's definitely earned it.
No, Ma Long.
Bad Ma Long. No. Fair enough. Akram Benatia, right now the top of the food chain in the umpire world as well.
Please, player, toss time. Blue or red? Red for Lin, blue for Ma Long. Red, Lin, winner of the toss, what do you choose? Receive for Lin, serve for Ma Long. Which side, Ma Long? Good match.
So Ma Long very casually just choosing his side of the table. It's funny, people often ask me, by the way, I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, and I'm thrilled to be here for this match. I've been waiting for it for a long time. Ma Long and Lin Gaoyuan. People often ask me, who's the friendliest? What are the personalities like on the Chinese national team? And while I think they're all kind and lovely, I will say that the level of focus that Ma Long brings to the table, or any event he's playing in, is unrivaled. Yes, he's incredibly friendly, but he is so focused that you probably don't want to catch him right before a match. 4-0 against Gaston Alto of Argentina. Eugene Wang 4-0 as well for the Canadian. Christian Carlson took 1, but 4-1 for Ma Long, and then Lim Jong-hoon. Ma Long really turning it up a notch because Lim Jong-hoon is one of the best in the world, but it was a complete shutout for Ma Long. Now on the other side of the table, the Dark Knight, Lin Gaoyuan, the 28-year-old world ranked number 7, has been an outstanding form. He has 5 events to his name, and he's done quite well to even outperform all of his Chinese teammates at events, but still under pressure, there's a lot to be left desired, I would say. Jakub Diaz 4-0, Daniel Habasson 4-0, Lee Song-soo 4-0, and Lin Winru 4-1. Lin Winru beat Ma Long the last time he played him. Lin Winru is one of the great threats to the Chinese opposition who lead the world of table tennis. So Lin Gaoyuan only dropping that 1 game along the way. This will be very interesting to see. What is it about Ma Long that makes him so incredible? I guess it just seems like he's not afraid to do anything. Interesting, I'm impressed actually, a bit surprised. The fans give 41% to Lin Gaoyuan. Now remember, Ma Long had a very rough defeat at the hands of Wang Chuqin. At his last event, it was 4-0, and it felt like absolute domination. 1 game was, the other ones were a bit close, but it just felt like Ma Long couldn't really do anything to turn things around against Wang Chuqin, his kryptonite. But that's a different player, and Ma Long has never lost. He's 5-0 against Lin Gaoyuan. A lot of the world wants to see him complete his 4th World Championships in singles. He'd be 4 for 4 in his last 4 attempts. Didn't show up in 2021.
Malone to serve. Love all.
So as he dries his hand on the table near the net where the ball is unlikely to bounce, he'll also start with the serves. Love all.
Let, love all. Let, love all.
2 let serves here to start it off. Ma Long making sure his serves are low and tight.
1 love.
So 3 hours 44 minutes on court here. That's the amount of time Lin Gaoyuan has spent on court.
Love 2.
Perfectly handcuffing serve. Interesting, the crowd isn't going to be nearly as involved in this as both players are from Team China. Neither will coaches. There will be no coaches involved.
Let, love 2.
Smart placement here. Lin Gaoyuan going to the wide forehand of Ma Long. Oh, what a block!
3-1.
The opening shot was spinny, and Lin Gaoyuan looks like he's surely going to finish the point with the quality of this attack. So low, Ma Long just perfectly in position, holds the racket up. He keeps his balance so well.
3-2.
That said, good touch here to bring him off footing for a moment. Only 2 hours, 9 minutes on court. At 34 years old, he's not playing every event like some of his teammates, Sun Ying Xia, Wang Chuqin, the champions in mixed doubles.
2-4.
First towel break, Ma Long in control. The thing about Ma Long is he has so many different answers. If something's not working, he can just pull from such a long list of other skill sets to shut down the opponent, whether it be touch play, blocking, flicks, variety and spin. But a rocket backhand here, clear read of the rotation on this one. Lin Gaoyuan powering it into the backhand. Good angle too.
Let, 3-4. 4-4.
Handcuffing serve right out of the gates here. Lin Gaoyuan with the first 2 points out of the towel break left Ma Long spinning from under the table where he had to quickly retreat. Back up a little bit. It's tough to be as threatening from behind the table. While it looks cool and it's fun to watch, no player wants to be that player who is behind the table.
5-4.
Loving the new Chinese uniform that Lin Gaoyuan is wearing. Here in the stadium, there's a giant booth with the Chinese national team all along it.
Five.
Quite a turnaround here. Lin Gaoyuan starting a little bit slower in the beginning of this one. I feel like both of them, though, were just sort of jogging for the marathon, and the sprint would be the last lap.
Five, 6.
Still just wrapping my head around the idea that Ma Long's only been on court just over 2 hours, where some of his teammates at this point have to be over, well over 7 hours.
6.
So 4 of the last 6 points since the towel break. Lin Gaoyuan ties it up.
7-6.
I've been asking people who they believe is going to win and who they want to win the men's singles event. And Ma Long, without a doubt, is the most popular answer in both categories.
7-7.
Which is interesting considering the draw, but I'm not just asking fans and people that are wearing tiaras that say Ma Long GOAT on the top. I'm asking coaches for other teams. The great minds of the game. Ma Long tends to rise to the occasion. And at every World Championship since 2015 he has.
7-8.
It'll break off the net there in the touch play, that short game. Takes incredible footwork. Just keep your eyes on the feet and the legs here. Ma Long getting under the table on a few of those. And in an instant, if he needs to, he'll get low, he'll turn, and run around the table for the big attacks.
Let 7-8. 8-8.
Tighter game than Ma Long would have hoped for. At the beginning of this event, Ma Long said it might be his last. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. So fans watching all around the world will tune in for every match he plays like it's a last concert for the greatest pop star you've ever seen. He also said he wants to enjoy and relax.
9-8.
But becoming the greatest of all time is not just about relaxing. It's the determination and the competitive spirit, the focus that he brings.
Eight, 10.
And now it is 2 game points for Ma Long. 2 big points from 8-8. Clean toss, hardly any spin on it, nearly vertical. Short side of the table, Ma Long puts the pressure on the step around, one of his most signature shots. Oh, beautiful counter, quick speed here. He's lightning fast, Lin Gaoyuan. And against teammates has done better than, say, against some other strong opposition over the years. Ma Long with the backhand that is right into the forehand of Lin Gaoyuan. 1 game point saved, 1 more to go for the man with the serve. Oh,
10,
well now.
10.
Looked to be heavy rotation. Lin Gaoyuan with the perfect amount of lift, drives it on the parallel. And just behind Ma Long here. 2 game points have been taken from him. What will the dictator do? Alternating serves, deuce in game number 1. Smart play brings him in over the table and sends it back to baseline. Ma Long with his 3rd game point here in the first.
Play, please. 10, 11.
Heavy spin it is inside the table. Ma Long doing one of the things he does best, stealing attacks from inside the baseline. So 12-10, he gets the first game on the scoreboard, but not without some serious opposition. And Lin Gaoyuan, the world ranked number 7, down 0-1, and the greatest of all time, up 1-0. So here we have ping pong for Parkinson's. One of the great things to keep people fresh in the brain. Table tennis can battle all sorts of degenerative diseases and give people a way to not only be active and have fun, but also exercise the most important part of the brain, to stay young. So this was earlier today right here in ICC Durban with Coach Simon from South Africa. Again, table tennis for all. Players of all ages and all body types, seated or standing. Many say that table tennis keeps you young, and actually I hear that table tennis players, on average, outlive non-table tennis players. So if you're not already playing, well, I would say your life depends on it. That said, happy to have you here and watching the greatest of all time at the top of the screen.
Second game, Lin Gaoyuan to serve, love all.
But it's Lin Gaoyuan, the Dark Knight, with the serves to start off game number 2.
Love 1.
Very uncomfortable rally from Ma Long there in the forehands. The way he played those, you could see that extra lean. It's a bit taxing on the shoulder, but keeping his feet in position. It's the whole reason he did that.
Leg, love 1.
Oh man,
1-1.
Getting crafty and clever, but not fooled. Lin Gaoyuan was there for the final shot. Ma Long with some good defense on this. A little bit of a block, soft inside out, covering the middle well. Lin Gaoyuan to play the forehand there. Not an easy ball to play. Ma Long's going to adjust that ever so slightly.
2-1.
How fast the ball's spinning there. Just off the table long.
One, 3.
Remember, this is a man, the only man, Ma Long, who's ever won 2 Olympic gold medals in singles. And he's looking to go to Paris 2024.
1-4.
Interestingly enough, he's been beaten by non-Chinese players less recently than the world #1, Fan Zhendong. It seemed like he was a shoo-in, Ma Long and Fan Zhendong, to play in singles in Paris. Oh, as clean as can be, that backhand. Earns himself the opportunity and converts. Take a look here, touch shot, moves in, tucks, just completely unloads on that backhand. The real conversation now with Wang Chuqin being as dominant as he has been and so rarely beaten by foreigners. Yes, Tomokazu got the best of him in a best-of-5 in Chengdu. Christian Carlsen earlier in the year. I think it'll be an interesting discussion. Who represents China in singles in Paris 2024?
5-2.
And Ma Long will do whatever is needed of him. This is true of the Chinese national team. It's all for the team, but Ma Long has been the role model, the big brother, and the idol for pretty much everybody on the team, man or woman. Right now he's controlling the scoreboard here, 5-2.
3-5.
What a recovery here, Lin Gaoyuan. Wasn't too fooled by that flick that Ma Long had. Looked like he was going to go cross court, Ma Long, and then he goes down the short side of the table. But a lot on the backhand. Lin Gaoyuan acknowledging a little fortune. Too fast for me to see what it was.
3-6.
Taking his chances here, Lin Gaoyuan to the short side on a low ball. Ma Long with intentional placement right near that back edge. Forehand to forehand they go, and Lin Gaoyuan with another point. Game 1 was tight. If you're just tuning in, 12-10, Ma Long took it. But the history between these two heavily favors Ma Long. That is
7-4.
crazy. Ma Long chopping, and the soft hands, Lin Gaoyuan leaves it right near the baseline of the table. Ma Long still able to scrape it off the back edge. Nice adjustment on the parallel nonetheless from Ma Long, running in. His only enemy, the only thing he's ever been afraid of, Ma Long, injury. So he keeps himself in condition to avoid it. Also spiders. He's not a fan of spiders. But not actually afraid. Okay, here we go. Push game. And inside the table, Ma Long so strong. Again, it's like somebody sawed off the last 5 inches or so of the table when Ma Long's playing.
Let 4-8. Let 4-8.
Good control from the baseline of the table here, and Ma Long running away with the scoreboard. Six of the last 8 points for Ma Long.
4-9.
Interesting, drawing his hand near the net and at the baseline of the table once more.
Let 4-9.
I hadn't noticed it, but I just noticed it now. Look at the hourglass figure through the table there. That's because of all the players drying their hands from the sweat near the net.
10-4.
It's also a good-looking table. Thank you, DHS, for that. 10-4. Ma Long now with 6 game points to make a much stronger statement that he made in game number 1.
Then 5.
But Lin Gaoyuan playing like the score doesn't exist, even after this point. Quiet, clenched fist. Just 1 point in the direction that he needs to go.
6-10.
I'd be curious. I often wonder about the mental training for the Chinese players. Table tennis is a very mental sport, in both American English and British English. Exciting to watch. 2 game points saved. Lin Gaoyuan with the serves back.
7-10.
Now remember, no coaches. So timeouts tend to come a little bit later in general. Although with Ma Long out there, I actually wonder if he'll eventually be a coach for the Chinese national team. I think he'd be more than welcome to the job if he'd like it. And continuing on through, Lin Gaoyuan with a full swing forehand here. Ma Long needs to get pretty clear pretty quickly on how to make it uncomfortable for Lin Gaoyuan. Easier said than done. Credit to the Dark Knight for setting it up, and now we got a timeout here.
Timeout.
Ma Long will sit in game number 2. Talk about a compliment. Ma Long's going to do whatever he has to do to win. Still on his moral compass, of course, which is one of the highest in the game. We've seen him be fair and square, but he sits now quietly, planning out the many options for the most complete player the game has ever known. Now, he might be the greatest of all time, but his current world ranking, number 3. There it is, the 3rd spot, just in front of Tomokazu Harimoto, who was eliminated by the world number 5 earlier today, Liang Jingquin, Da Pang. Hugo Calderano, the first seed to be knocked out, courtesy of Brian Afanador of Puerto Rico. And the world number 7, Lin Gaoyuan. Right below that, the silent assassin, Lin Wenru. He's from Elon. Dongqiu of Germany, pen holder. Yeah, Elon's a city, not to be confused with Elon Musk, apparently.
Time.
Beautiful city, by the way, right near Turtle Island. If you have a chance to visit, I highly recommend it. So 2 game points left for the captain, the dragon, the dictator, Ma Long. So fans for both sides here, but more cheering for Ma Long. Jayo, they say. Go for it, or literally add oil.
10-8.
Let's see what he does. He's got the serves if he needs a second one, Ma Long. It has not paid off, not yet. Got the opening attack, scraping it off the back of the table. That causes a lot of problems for many, but Lin Gaoyuan staying cool. Lin Gaoyuan has been on the other side of this scoreline many times before.
Flash.
Seemed like Ma Long calling a little attention to a light.
10-9.
Seemed to be distracting. But it seems that all is back where it needs to be. Second serve here and another game point. No, he did not. Lin Gaoyuan with another game point saved, a ripping backhand. What, 4-10 down? If so, that's 6 in a row for Lin Gaoyuan. 6 of the last 8 points. But more importantly, if he was down 4-10, 6 in a row. And he's got the serve here, deuce alternating. Ma Long looking for the baseline, a surprise long push. Is Ma Long about to be Lin Gaoyuan?
Play, please. 10-11.
Game point for Lin Gaoyuan. Not so fast. Ma Long saves one. If you've seen the T-Mobile comeback against Lin Gaoyuan, where T-Mobile was down 4-10, like Lin Gaoyuan was moments ago, there was 1 game point saved to send it to 11-all first. Lin Gaoyuan still fighting here. Wouldn't want to have come all this way and not leave with something to show for it. Incredible point. Ma Long recovers after taking some chances. Lin Gaoyuan puts it right back into the body, and still Ma Long covers. The quality of play in this point.
Ma Long, do not delay the game, please. 12-11.
Do not delay the game, he was warned. No card, simply a warning. Game point for Ma Long. What a follow-up to recover the net, Ma Long. A crazy seesaw game here, and Lin Gaoyuan is not making it easy. Without a doubt, the fight has been tight, but the scoreline now, a 2-0 lead for Ma Long. So 12-10 and 13-11, despite being up 10-4. Ma Long clearing the sweat. Man, the stress continues here. Is aim number Thrizzy, And Ma Long up 2-0.
Ma Long to serve. Love all.
It's been quite a nerve-wracking experience so far to be up 2-0.
1 love.
So getting close doesn't get your name written on trophies. Lin Gaoyuan must do something here in game number 3.
Love 2.
It's like his head went underwater and came right back up for one more shot. Watch Ma Long as low as can be, head low, and then back in position. Short side of the table, Ma Long with a little slip there, seems to be fine. Wow. I was curious to see that, but it made me real nervous. The Achilles heel literally can be your Achilles heel. Outstanding control from Ma Long on the block. Lin Gaoyuan run all around the court, spin for spin, time and time again. The point I was making was a little slip when you're moving this quickly. There could be some sort of hyperextension, something that could really affect your game. So 7 of the last 8 points have been scored by yours truly, meaning Ma Long. I guess that's not how you normally say it in English. I didn't score any of the last 8 points, actually. You could see that on screen. Good pressure here from Lin Gaoyuan to get his first point on the scoreboard here. Oh, that's the one. So fast, it's so satisfying. While the world loves Ma Long, the truth is it'd be satisfying had Lin Gaoyuan done it as well, because it's so fast. Full commitment on the step around. You can see the muscles in the legs of Ma Long doing all their work to support the upper body and the twist at the waist.
One, 6.
Acknowledging a little fortune, whatever it was for Ma Long. Sometimes it's just a funny contact that wasn't intended.
Six, 2.
So there are clearly some people in the crowd here who would like to see either Lin Gaoyuan succeeding here or simply a closer match. First two couldn't ask for much more scoreline-wise. But here in the third, looking quite convincing and compelling for Ma Long.
6, 2.
It seems that there's a flash in the crowd. That's why people keep shouting. No flash, please. Sometimes you just have to tap the person on the shoulder. They don't realize the light is on their cell phone.
Seven, 2.
Bit of vocalization here, fired up after a bit of a distraction, really, in the midst of such a fast-paced game. Imagine coming to the table having played every combination you could possibly imagine and determining your plan.
3, 7.
Only to find out that you have to wait. This is part of the game. Third point on the board here for Lin Gaoyuan. His backhand inside the table is quite strong. When he was coming up in the World 2017, we noticed.
3, 8.
In all fairness, Lin Gaoyuan has had some tough times, but there's a reason he's still here. There's a reason that China sends him to the biggest events in the world. He's proven that he's an exceptional player. After all, he did take the Goa Star Contender recently. Ooh, a tomahawk chop block. Bit of side and a whole lot of under on that one. After Ma Long goes to the short side of the table from an uncomfortable position. It's under the table. Very crafty. A Go Z-like forehand tomahawk chop. Second towel break. And still 4 points up Ma Long. It's crazy to think that Ma Long was playing while about half of the coaching staff for China was playing.
8-5.
And in case you're curious, you might think 34 years old, that's not so old. Well, for Team China, only one player I can think of has ever played past 34, Wang Liqin. And I think Ma Long has what it takes to pass him by. Beautiful backhand inside the table. Lin Gaoyuan way down before, was down 1-6 and is suddenly at 6-8. I wouldn't call Lin Gaoyuan the king of comebacks. He's more setting them up for people, it seems. But every game so far he's come back, he just hasn't crossed the finish line. The streak continues. Ma Long does not have his timeout left. If he did, he would love to use it right about now.
Ma Long, yellow card, time wasting.
And a yellow card for Ma Long after Lin Gaoyuan has won 6 of the last 8.
Time wasting. 7-8.
I love you, Ma Long, but that is the right call. Gold badge is not for nothing. And you've sure been taking your time out here, no questions about it. So, can understand it's a tense match.
9-7.
Now, in case you're curious, what does a yellow card actually mean? Well, it's just a formal warning. Meaning if it happens again, it will be a yellow and a red card, and then it will cost a point. And at this level, that could be devastating.
Nine, 8.
Still very much in it after a bottle challenge serve fast down the line to the backhand. It's weird, I think I heard a local calling for Ma Lin. He'll be here as a coach, as he has been throughout the week. The pace on this shot.
9.
And it is tied up. Lin Gaoyuan at the third towel break, right back in it. No spin on the toss. Just as it's supposed to be. Lin Gaoyuan a little bit central on the table as Ma Long started to make that move to cover the wide forehand. Big shot here as Ma Long closes the racket to play it back on the parallel, a bit out in front, extended as he needs to be. Take a look, it's this one. And he just bends it back to that corner. Lin Gaoyuan looking like, what just hit me? Game point, Ma Long on the receive.
Let 9-10.
Interesting combination of shots there. Lin Gaoyuan holding tight to catch Ma Long off guard and send him running to that wide forehand. A little bit of a replay of what he could have done on the backhand. Ma Long always has his options. The third game in a row pulling out extra points. Deuce. Game 3. As deep as can be, he sets up a game point once again. Ma Long with the reverse pendulum serve. Not so common to see from him. He goes through phases, of course, when he needs to. Lin Gaoyuan serving against game point. That backhand so clean. An interesting thing about Ma Long is while he's capable of just about any shot in the game, he's often giving shots that are surprising and sets up another game point for Ma Long. Extra spin once again. Lin Gaoyuan hanging on to go down 0-3 against Ma Long. Is already, I mean, from 0-0, most players' odds are incredibly slim. From down 0-3, but if he can get 1-2, he's going to have confidence, Lin Gaoyuan. Ma Long's going to have more stress to deal with. Fourth towel break. The only score possible. And the third deuce point. It's Ma Long with the serve. He is the answer to that long push time and time again. Lin Gaoyuan perfectly in position, is capable on both wings, and when the push comes in long, his answer comes back fresh out of the oven, as hot as can be. And now it is game point for Lin Gaoyuan. Chop block from Ma Long, and then the short side of the table. The thing about this chop block is it's curving wider to the forehand of Lin Gaoyuan. Watch it one more time. There it is, side spin, and now it opens up the backhand side of the table. Ma Long thinking in patterns and combinations out here. Clever in crucial moments, clutch as can be. It is the world number 3. It is fourth deuce point in game number 3. Lin Gaoyuan is playing scary good right now. Everything is done right, it seems, for Ma Long to make it challenging for Lin Gaoyuan. And a parallel forehand inside the table from Lin Gaoyuan. And now a timeout on Lin Gaoyuan's side. This will be very interesting. Lin Gaoyuan has the serve, and he has the game point. Looking to convert here. And again, what feels like a must-win moment. In case you're wondering why there are no coaches, the reason is both players are from the same national association, Team China. Lin Gaoyuan on his timeout will come back with a plan and a game point. Crowd going back and forth here with pledging their allegiance to their favorite players. More fans here supporting Ma Long, but Lin Gaoyuan, more points in this game. Back from his timeout with game point. Ma Long diffuses the timeout. No timeouts left, and they are back at deuce. Soft push inside the table, quickly back to the corner. And it carries wide.
15, 14.
A long way to go for that wide forehand. A long serve to the backhand. Lin Gaoyuan not fooled at all. What a response on the receive. On the short side there, still not a bothered. Like to see the point continue with Ma Long lobbing. So 16 to 14, Lin Gaoyuan makes things interesting, puts a dent in the record of Ma Long. And you can feel right now a sense of exhaustion from Ma Long. He worked incredibly hard, yet Lin Gaoyuan had answers to everything he brought to the table. Every single game has just gotten closer and closer. More points played, 30 points to determine the winner of game number 3. So as he hydrates, Lin Gaoyuan now with a game on the scoreboard. Ma Long maybe taking a run to the restroom, maybe changing shirts. Whatever it may be, he'll be accompanied along the way. We've got a lot more action for you in the table tennis world, not just in the next few days, but in the next few months. Ljubljana in Slovenia, we've got a WTT star contender there, July 3rd through the 9th, presented by I Feel Slovenia. Ooh, I feel Slovenia today. WTT champions Frankfurt, October 29th through November 5th. The whole world will be there. It's a champions event. So a lot of prize money, a lot of points, and a lot to play for. So 2-1, Ma Long leads. It's always interesting to see as players get a little bit up there. Remember, this is a man who has won every world championships he has played since 2015. 3 consecutive. I think that hasn't been done in the men's game since the 1960s. Yeah, Zhuang Zedong.
Game, Lin Gaoyuan to serve. Love all.
1961 through 1965 was Zhuang Zedong. The pace, and he hangs with it. Ma Long dealing with some very fast shots out here. Sort of tough to imagine when you think about someone playing fast shots versus powerful shots, what the difference is, but it's the combination of speed and spin.
2 love.
So as a lightweight, Lin Gaoyuan is very fast. Satyen Yanashekaran as well. But in terms of Fan Zhendong, Liang Jingquin, there's a quality to their ball that's very tough to counter. And the rotation is a big part of that.
2-1.
Good pressure. Backhand again. Lin Gaoyuan has the momentum after winning last game. We've seen Ma Long pull out some interesting serves in recent history. Going to a more simple backhand serve from time to time. Reverse pendulum here and there. Smart placement. Ma Long not going exactly to the corner, but just a little bit inside to cause some hesitation on Lin Gaoyuan. Opens it up wide. There it is. Just doesn't really show where he's going immediately. Ma Long tries to keep something, just to keep the opponent guessing.
Two, three.
Nice flick there from Ma Long, and Lin Gaoyuan turns up the heat on the parallel. Second point this game for the Dark Knight.
Let 2, 3. 3-3.
This one comes back under the net, leaves Ma Long looking down at his equipment as if to say, did that slip? It's almost the only explanation you could imagine for a shot from Ma Long coming back under the net. A little bit about Ma Long. Liam Pitchford of England beat him in 2018, the Bulgaria Open, and it would send Ma Long into a knee surgery. He took some serious time off from the game, and when he came back in 2019, he won his first event back, the Qatar Open. Ooh, double happiness, not only the sponsor of the table, but the name of that last shot as it hits the top of the net and then clips the edge of the table. And then after winning the Qatar Open in 2019, he came back to win the World Championships for his third consecutive time. Didn't play in the United States in Houston in 2021. That's where Fan Zhendong won it.
6-3.
5 in a row now for Lin Gaoyuan from down 1-3. Neither player has a timeout left. Tough times here. When it is hot, when it is humid, and you're sweating more and more, it gets tougher to control the ball.
4-6.
I don't know if that's a factor, but reading the body language, seeing 2 shots in recent points going under the net for Ma Long. Could be. It is winter time here, but it feels like summer. It's beautiful. What on earth are we watching? If you don't have a neck brace nearby, then I think you just need to be really, really careful while watching this, because the speed that they are hitting the ball back and forth with, the umpires are the ones who really have their work cut out for them. Backhand to forehand here, and Ma Long on top. You can feel the pain for Lin Gaoyuan in what feels like a must-win game. The hand of Ma Long there, the dragon himself. It's always nice to have your spirit animal on your shorts with you at all times. And the forehand flick ties it up. 3 in a row for Ma Long after 5 in a row for Lin Gaoyuan. Earns himself that forehand flick, gets up in the air to get inside the table, to get some real leverage there, put some power behind the shot without the legs behind it. That's the thing about the forehand flick. Your feet are typically either in the air, you just don't have the twist from the rest of your body to give you the power you need. A bit of extra spin from Ma Long on the last one. Could really feel the way he brushed up the back of the ball. You want to start playing table tennis, you want to get better, you've got to get some professional equipment so you can spin the ball. That's the start. Learning the form, the techniques, that'll take decades to get to this level. And in all reality, only very few will ever do that. 7 points apiece. Spin shot there right to the line, taking his chances, hitting it out of reach. How could he get it past me there? How did I miss a spot on the table? That chop block was so nasty. Heavy side and underspin here from Ma Long. Lin Gaoyuan plays it perfectly, but the response from Ma Long sets him up with a 1-point lead. Remember, if you're watching this live, you watch till the end, because this could be Ma Long's last match. at least at the World Championships. Short side of the table, he's up by 2. Again, we hope to see Ma Long at every World Championships for as long as we can, but after an Olympic cycle in 2024 and the next World Championship finals in 2025, we might not see this man. So he's going to make the most of it, and he's made, well, the majority of the last 8 points, 6 of them. The swatting backhand doesn't come down. Lin Gaoyuan saves it with a bit of side spin there. What a rally it was. A chase in this one. Be excited to see the replay. Wide stance from Lin Gaoyuan, as he typically has, hopping around, fooled there, and the underspin with the side spin. I think that's the second time it's paid off for him. Ma Long, some clear frustration. As you can understand, wants to capture this game. Just down by 1 here, the Dark Knight.
Let 8, 9.
And now it is tied up at 9 points apiece. Once again, Lin Gaoyuan comes back in the business end of the game. Ma Long has been in control from the start. Lin Gaoyuan's made his fair share of comebacks. 16-14 in the last game. Lin Gaoyuan managed to pull it out. Otherwise, it'd be 3-0 right now for Ma Long. But every single game has gone extra points. And this game will be won by the difference of 2 points, just the same as the 3 before it. The last 2 serve combination with Ma Long right now. And the soft touch, the change of pace. Ma Long sets up a game point to go up 3-1. Another look here, touch. Half long. One more, he goes deeper. But heavy backspin on it. You could see the ball bite the table, just slow down on the bounce. The traction from that backspin. Game point, Ma Long. What a backhand here. Lin Gaoyuan, if he has any fear at all, you wouldn't know it watching him play today. He's been in some very difficult positions, coming back from 4-10 in one game, saving another game point. By the end of this match, how many game points Lin Gaoyuan has saved will be some crazy number. But no one will really care if he doesn't win the match. And Ma Long sets up yet another game point.
Play, please. 11-10.
That is just perfection. Hangs in for everything, and Lin Gaoyuan deals with the heavy spin, the heat on the move. Wide shot coming in. Good save for Ma Long, but a little bit higher. Lin Gaoyuan's perfectly in position to put it back down the line out of reach. Second deuce point. Ma Long sneaks it back. The defense, that was a big point. Sneaky little shot, shakes his head as if to say, you can't let yourself get in that position. This shouldn't be how you win the points. It's a lot of pressure behind the table. He punched it a little bit. Very little rotation compared to usual. Although you could still see the ball spinning in that replay. It's just how spinny his backhand normally is by comparison. Third game point for Ma Long. The open table finds an answer. It took a long time, and he is one step closer to crossing the line. 3 games to 1. Ma Long 1 game away. Lin Gaoyuan has not made it easy and will not let it be easy. Look at the scores on screen. Every single game has been extra points, and quite a lot of them overall. So no matter what the scoreboard says at the end of this match, you've watched it live and you know how tight it is. Game number 5 with the greatest of all time and what could be his last performance against the Dark Knight, Lin Gaoyuan. Stay right here. Game number 5 coming up right after this. So here it is, Ma Long in 2019, his last men's singles title in World Championships over Matthias Falk. An incredible performance in what, well, Simon Gauzy led to ultimately being a non-all-Chinese final. Matthias Falk then followed up by Truls Morgaard to play the men's singles final, but he holds the cup high for the 3rd time in his career. Will he do it again? A long way to go to find out, but in this match, just 1 more game.
Fifth game, Ma Long to serve, last all. One love.
And a good start here by Ma Long to take the first point in game 5. The recovery inside the table, it is not easy to get back. Lin Gaoyuan really testing Ma Long here. Forehand flick right back into the body. How he moves his legs so quickly to create that space, the world may never know. And the angle to go with it. 3 points, not contested by Ma Long. Chiseling little push there right off the bounce, and he's got 6 of the last 8 points, Ma Long.
Four love.
And it feels like things are starting to come apart a little bit. Some of the details just wearing off now. We say that, but he's been in tougher positions to come back to deuce. He was down 4-10, remember, Lin Gaoyuan. Excellent rally here, the heavy spin, side spin and top spin from Ma Long, not bothering Lin Gaoyuan as he counters to get his first point on the scoreboard. Chop block central, and he gets the opportunity, but it's a long way to go. Lin Gaoyuan leaves it way short on the table. Take another look, Ma Long way back. And that cradling shot stays a little bit shallow. Not much topspin on it, so it doesn't jump out away from the net. My favorite thing about table tennis is the spin. The amount of spin, this is what differentiates it from other racket sports. There's no other racket sport I know of where spin is such a major factor.
3, 4.
And at any given point, you can put any spin on the ball and you can answer any spin with any spin. Some might be more common or easier than others to do, to control, or to create for that matter. 3 serving 4. And that is 4 straight points for Lin Gaoyuan after Ma Long took the first 4 points of this game. He would love to be able to focus on the next match right now, but that's not where he is.
4, 5.
The presence right now, you can feel the exhaustion in Ma Long right here, and I don't think it's just physical. I think it's mainly mental. You look at the athletes, they can run for an hour at a speed that would be uncomfortable for most to run at for just a few minutes.
Five.
I think the issue is when your brain is working so hard, and this is back to the ping pong for Parkinson's thing, this is why it's so good for the brain. Because it forces your brain to think about so many different factors at once. Trajectory, spin, speed, placement on the table, where your opponent's standing, and what your opponent's skill sets are. 5 points apiece.
6-5.
Remember, Lin Gaoyuan fighting for survival here. He's in a must-win situation for every game for the rest of this match, which would mean he'd need to win this game and the next two. Ma Long just one game away if he can finish this off. It's a whole lot of energy into that one shot. Reminiscent of Jun Ji-hee's step-around forehands that were quite spectacular earlier today, or this evening, I should say. The racket speed. Elbow far away from the body. In Europe, they keep the elbow a little bit closer to the body. I feel like the elbow far from the body is a bit more physically demanding. A little bit of sweat on the table here. Ma Long just moving it closer to the net. Is it littering if it's already there and you just relocate it?
Left. 6-6.
I always wonder that when someone puts a flyer on your windshield. 6 points apiece here out of the second towel break. As fast as can be, hits Ma Long straight up in the body. No chance to turn the corner for that one. Head scratching moment here as he dries his hand. So quick turnaround, 6 of the last 8 points for Lin Gaoyuan. Going back and forth, these two, in this tug of war. It is so clean. Not easy to do, fine margins there for the push game. Lin Gaoyuan came very close, and against most in the world, this might have caused trouble. Half long push, but Ma Long turns the corner, gets that full extension of the arm. Oh, it is so beautiful. This is 2023. And we're watching Ma Long still performing these shots.
7-8.
In front here, Ma Long 3 points away from moving on to the men's singles semifinals.
Nine, 7.
Now at this point, you have to imagine Ma Long is going to do everything he can to close it here. Stamina will be arguably in favor of Lin Gaoyuan. The younger of the two at 28 years old. The lifespan of a Chinese national team player is much shorter than any other national team. 9 serving 7. And the wide angle sets it up here. A good serve, rather, to set up that wide angle. And now 3 match points for Ma Long to move on to the final 4. From the moment the draw happened, the world was talking about what will happen when Ma Long faces Wang Chuqin, his kryptonite. But he needs 1 more point to get there. And Ma Long breaks on through. It has not been easy. A sigh of relief. Ma Long can finally take a break. Lin Gaoyuan, a really incredible performance here to put up the fight that he did. The score line in this match, Lin Gaoyuan really gave a performance that I think must have just outdone the expectations of the world, yet still, Ma Long 4 games to 1. 11-7, the only game that was decided by the difference of more than 2 points was the final game. And 11-7's not too shabby against the greatest of all time. So Ma Long, the captain, the dragon, the dictator, will live to see the semifinal that the world wonders. Can he beat a player who is 6-2 against him, who dominated him in their last encounter? He doesn't have to think about that yet. He has a moment to enjoy that he survived the Dark Knight, that he got through Lin Gaoyuan, and it was definitely a tough task for the man at hand. Let's hear what the greatest of all time, Ma Long, has to say at this World Championships.
A big congratulations, Ma Long. You are just unstoppable. How do you manage to maintain such excellent form?
首先，恭喜马龙成功晋级半决赛。您是怎么坚持呢？一直保持着这么高的一个竞技状态的？
其实这次比赛我也没想到自己能走到这一步吧。我觉得自己做好每一场比赛，有可能都是自己最后一场比赛这种感觉。所以，今天能够赢下来，一方面也取决自己今天心态不错，另一方面我觉得今天还是两个人每一局都是打到最后关键时刻，自己还是在意志上坚持住了吧。
Well, to be honest, I didn't quite expect myself to make it this far to the semifinals. Every time I play each match, I kind of feel that I need to survive each one. It might be my last match, but I'm really glad to have walked away with a win today. I think today I managed to win is because of a strong mind game. At crucial moments, I managed to make good decisions, so I'm really glad with this.
No, awesome. And Lin Gaoyuan called you his idol and role model. How do you rate his performance tonight?
昨天高远受访时就说到你是他的偶像，也是大家的榜样，能评价一下高远今天的表现吗？
我觉得他这次表现，包括最近几次世锦赛的表现都非常好，每一次都能够打进前8强，而且在这次比赛之前前不久公开赛上他也拿到了这种冠军，而且我觉得他始终还是有自己坚持的梦想。我觉得今天自己能够取胜，还是在关键时刻多多少少有一些运气吧。
Well, to be honest, Gao Yuan did well today. In fact, he managed to win a few titles, even with the Opens champions as well. His desire to win and his desire, to keep his dream going is what keeps him going.
Great. Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations once again, and all the best for the semis tomorrow.
再次恭喜马龙。
Well, there it is, words of wisdom from the man that has been the idol of many, the greatest of all time. Big brother for the Chinese national team, and the captain, the dragon, the dictator, Ma Long, moves on and lives to see another day absolutely drenched in sweat here